Hello again, John here with another audio and video production related product review. This time we're looking at a directional condenser microphone made for smartphones by a company called Comica. This is the CVM VS08. It's available on Amazon for as low as $39.98. There seem to be several separate listings for the same product, so pick the one you like best if you're going to buy one of these mics. As part of this evaluation, I'm recording all the narration for this product review using the microphone attached to my iPhone 6. I'm also conducting all of my tests on an iPhone 6. I don't have any reason to expect different results with other smartphones. One other suggestion I have for you is to use headphones while you're watching this review. Chances are if you don't use headphones, you won't hear much difference in the contrasting tests that I'm going to run. Included in the box are the following things. The microphone itself. It's a microphone on one side and there's a headphone jack on the other side. The headphone jack does not allow you to monitor sound live, but it does allow you to monitor on playback, which is really great because otherwise you'd have to disconnect and reconnect the microphone constantly if you're concerned with checking the audio quality of the clips you're recording during your shoot. This clip device stabilizes the microphone when it's attached on the phone. Without it, the microphone would just spin around. You get this foam windscreen, most useful for indoors where gusty wind is not likely to be an issue. You also get this fur windscreen, which is most useful for outdoor applications where wind and noise can become an issue. It also doubles as a handy disguise beard. And you also get a warranty card. The warranty on this microphone is for 1 year and it covers manufacturing defects. So here's how it attaches. To hook it up, I put the stabilizer clip and the appropriate windscreen on first so that I don't end up placing excess pressure on jack components both on the microphone and in the phone. Next, I plug it in. One excellent thing is that the post on the microphone is long enough to plug it in even with a protective case on my phone. Make sure the microphone is facing in the direction you want to record and then carefully slide the stabilizer up against the phone. I would highly recommend having a set of headphones handy so you can play back the recordings and make sure everything is working properly. As I mentioned before, there's a jack built into the microphone for this purpose. This is a cardioid microphone, which means it's directional. Anything that's in front of it is going to sound louder and clearer than things that are off to the side or behind it. Now let's take a look at some of the test recordings I made with the internal microphone compared with the microphone I'm reviewing. First, we'll take a look at something loud. I'm not sure it was as obvious with the train as it was with the drums, but the drums were really overloading the microphone a lot. So I think in this case I would give the nod to the internal microphone for loud subjects. Now let's take a look at the comparison with something that's maybe not quite as loud. I have the iPhone turned toward me in selfie mode, and I'm using the internal microphone on the freeway, driving at about 60 or 65 miles an hour. On the freeway, the windows rolled down exactly the same amount, and I'm going almost exactly the same speed. So I have the fur windscreen on now. I have the camera in selfie mode, and there's a freeway right behind the camera. This should be a good test of the cardioid ability of the microphone. The microphone is off the camera in selfie mode, and the freeway is still behind the camera. Is it loud? What does it sound like? I think the audio from that test speaks for itself. The sound was cleaner with this external mic, and it did seem to cut down the road noise quite a bit. But more importantly, because I had the fur windscreen, you didn't get nearly as much wind noise. Okay, so our final test will be in a quiet setting. I have this music box set up about 12 inches away from the phone. Let's see how different the audio sounds between the onboard mic and the external mic. Now let's see if there's any difference listening to the sound that this little fidget spinner thing makes. I think the audio quality is a little harder to detect using this with a very quiet subject, although I did notice that there's not quite as much ambient hiss, I guess, with the external microphone. So I think I would use the external microphone for something relatively quiet like this as well, because you're not going to get as much sort of ambient or, hiss noise happening with it. So let's rate this thing. This is a compact and inexpensive device that I carried around in my pocket during most of my testing. It's simple to use and it does what it's supposed to do. The signal to noise ratio is better than the onboard microphone, and if you can find an app that allows you to adjust the recording levels, it'll always outperform your internal mic. The quality of the recordings I made was very clear, and the directionality of the microphone is also better than the internal microphone. All that being said, there's nothing to complain about here. This microphone turns my phone into a much better recording device, so I'm giving it a rating of 10 out of 10.